poetry this day and I go, and the last shall be first to immerse and I pass out heat, facing him up with a moxie melt till he woke up drowning in tchotchke hell.
Hey, what's up guys? Anthony here, and I'm sitting here with my man Aesop Rock. He is on tour right now for his current album, None Shall Pass. Hey, thank you for the time, really appreciate it, man.
Thank you, man, thank you.
Definitely. So how's the tour going, man? It seems like the schedule's a little grueling. I saw that schedule, but going very well.
Yeah, so far so good. You know, it's all a blur, and you kind of forget where you are sometimes. But you know, it is what it is. You just kind of after about a week, you kind of get into a groove, and it's just show, and you kind of forget where you are and what you're doing. And I don't know. I think we're about halfway through, so you know, I'm just kind of. I do the show, go to sleep, wake up, get in the van, and do what I got to do. You know, so.
You know, I recently talked to Kenna actually, and he said the same thing. He's like, you really do forget where you are. Is that really true, man?
Yes. So I mean, every day, you know, you want to get on stage and say, you know, what's up, Denver? But literally every night, right before you get on stage, you go, where are we again, man? Like, what city are we in? Because you don't want to mess up and say the wrong city.
Yeah. Hey, it's been 4 years since the last album, man. None Shall Pass. And I mean, I'm sure in that time you've grown, you know, as a person, as an artist. Has that growth, you know, shown in this album?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, 2 years ago, I kind of uprooted out of New York for the first time and kind of moved to San Francisco. And yeah, there's been a lot of changes that have gone down, especially in the last 2 years. I got married.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. And yeah, you know, a bunch of stuff's happened that kind of has. You know, pushed me to kind of see things differently, and you know, I'm just not the same person as I was when I was 20 and doing this stuff, and you know, we all tend to be kind of like big kids anyway, but there's elements of growing up that kind of sneak into it, and just kind of responsibilities that you never had before that become a little more serious,
like marriage.
Yeah, that among other things. Yeah, you know, and you know, trying to make sure that you have a decent life for you and your family and that kind of stuff, and so all these things start weighing on you, and it's just kind of a different thing the older you get. And so, you know, with that, you kind of shake off some of the stuff that you used to write about because it's not as important, and you start every year you take on new topics and new ideas.
The Aphrodite all over the burgle of a purple heart compartment, marks the burgundy carpet alarmed and bar to parts to bark it.
I read in the beginning, man, you actually made some records while you were working at a restaurant, man.
Anything that I didn't have to wear a tie, I would do, you know. And so, yeah, it's crazy, you know. It was all stuff that I did at nighttime. You know, I got off work and I would take any little bit of energy I had after my 40 or 50 hours a week and put it into, you know, saving up money, and bought a 4-track, and eventually, you know, got an 8-track, and kind of I was recording with like a pretty crappy microphone and just figuring it out, you know, and the need to make songs was bigger than the fact that I didn't have that much of a budget or anything like that. So I was kind of just rocking around New York and trying to like get seen and just have fun with it, you know. And then before I knew it, people weren't interested in if I had songs or not. And I was like, well, yeah, I got songs. I didn't know you guys wanted them, you know. Yeah. So yeah, the first couple projects that I guess people consider my first two, you know, semi-official releases were both CDs that I sort of did on my own, and you know, cutting out the covers at my house, piecing them together. You know, I'm going to a show, I bet you I can move 10 of them, so I cut out, you know, 15 covers just in case, make the CDs up and burn them at my house, and that was what it was, you know. And that's kind of what led to eventually someone being like, hey, I have an indie label, you only want to put something out.
People say you're underground, but I mean, I go to shows sold out. Your debut, you know, number 50 on the billboards. I mean, you definitely have that balance between mainstream and what's underground. I mean, what are your thoughts when you hear something like that?
It's strange, man. It's strange when it gets bigger like that, because I don't feel like I identify with that. I mean, some of it I do, but there's a lot of music that's out on like a humongous level that I don't understand, you know. I'm not, you know, I'm sure they don't understand me as much as I don't understand them, which is totally fine to me. But yeah, I always kind of put myself in a position where I was making stuff that I knew wasn't going to be, you know, the next top 40 hit or anything, but I'm fine with that, and I don't really care where it ends up on Billboard when I'm making this stuff, and I don't care how people take it, other than myself and this kind of close-knit group of friends I have. And it's kind of the attitude I've maintained. That's kind of the one thing that hasn't changed, is that as long as I like the product and my friends like the product, and I have 100% creative control over the product, then that's where I'm at. So, but it does get strange when, I mean, you know, when I got the 1 week call after the sales, and they're like, you're number 50 on the Billboard, and I was like, You know, I don't know. You know, like I don't know. I was like, maybe I got to get weirder on these. So